Do you remember the time where Prison was the best deck in format, where Purelight was actually tier 0 and Vanguard almost rebooted? Do you remember the time where V-Series was the more fun format and we didn't have cool shit like the Divine Skill or even a Strike deck set? Do you remember the time where PBD was a bad deck and sorry? Wait, all these are still true in 2025? I need to hang myself. Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Seto here. Today we are back to talk about this. Yeah, it's FFR. Cool, right? We got the top loader for it. Today we are back to talk about the main reason why people hate DZBT11. It's Prison. Yay! So if you haven't clicked off this video yet, welcome to the true horrors of DZBT11. Today we're here to talk about Aurora Battle Princess Seraph Clearlight. Because in the previous deck profile of Prison, I was like, oh, Prison just never needs support ever again to support Purelight. And they were like, what? You said what? So yeah, now we have it. They've really not only revamped the whole Prison deck for the worst, they managed to keep its worst aspect and build the whole deck around it now, which I didn't think that was humanly possible. But they did. So yeah, I'm going to put links in the description below for the previous Prison deck profile, but frankly, you won't need it, because we're going to talk about everything here. And because I'm going to talk about deck I fully hate, today we have Nami.
Hey guys!
So Nami here will be here to take my blood pressure every like 5 minutes just to make sure I don't pass out from how stupid this deck is as a whole. But yeah, if anyone is telling you Prison is not the best deck format or not tier 1, they are completely wrong. Okay, we have to start with that. This deck is good. There is no discussion of this deck being bad. The question is, what can we do as Prison players or against Prison players? That's the reality of it now. There's no such thing as, oh, the deck doesn't work, Virgula is still cool. No. Okay? So, without further ado, we have to start with the right deck.
Alright, beginning with our new starter, a revamp of our old starter, Aurora Battle Princess Ruby Crimson. She does the starter things, very cute. Next one, Aurora Battle Princess Kyanite Cobalt. She is a revamp of Kyanite Blue.
They all are revamps, yeah.
Yes, so the entire right line got revamped, which is fun. So her effect is when she's placed on Vanguard Circle, you reveal a Seraph in your right deck, then search your deck or hand for a Prison and put it into the order zone. If you put from hand, you get to draw one, and shuffle your deck if you search your deck. For her act ability on Rearguard Circle, once per turn you can counterblast one, choose one of your opponent's Rearguard, put it into Prison, and she gains plus 2k. Doesn't really come up, but maybe in the mirror match. Next, Aurora Battle Princess Peach. Result Peach. Yes, Result Peach. Her effect, a lot better than the old one because she lets you draw one. But let's get to it. On place on Vanguard Circle, you can reveal a Seraph in your right deck and Soul Blast 1. Your opponent chooses a card from their Prison and then you draw a card. Her Rearguard effect is continuous on Rearguard Circle. If you have 2 or more cards in Prison, she gains plus 5k.
Yeah, that's alright.
And last but not least, Aurora Battle Princess Seraph Clearlight. She has 3 effects. The first one being Act, Vanguard Circle or Rearguard Circle.
To the base rank so they can see a bit.
Vanguard Circle or Rearguard Circle. You can Soul Blast once per turn to choose one of your opponent's Rearguards and put it into Prison. If you are unable to, your opponent chooses a card from your drop zone and puts it into Prison instead. Her second ability is Vanguard Circle, Rearguard Circle. When she attacks, if you have 3 or more cards in Prison, she gains plus 10k power and plus 1 drive. If this ability was used on the Rearguard Circle, at the end of the battle, you put her into Soul.
You can put her.
You may put her into Soul and draw a card. And the very last ability, which what makes this card so broken
and built for specifically this, by the way, is
when she is Soul Blasted by the ability of your Seraph Vanguard, for the rest of until the end of your opponent's turn, they get the red text ability. The on place auto abilities of their units do not activate when they are called from your Prison.
Yeah, so that basically skill drain now. Congrats, you guys have not only an even better version of the original Seraph White. You guys not just get skill drain staple on top. Why? I don't know. They just thought, yeah, you guys needed a skill drain. Very frankly, this whole right line is a vast improvement, no matter what. Like, the grade 1 prevents you from bricking on the prison. Like, you can just draw if you put it from your hand. Correct?
Yes.
And then the grade 2 gives you an additional draw, which was frankly unneeded. But it is good for prison players, because, you know, prison does need a bit more draw.
Alright,
if you can say that. But, you know, this is nice, especially on turn 2, right? Because turn 2 is where prison gets very aggressive. And then now you have Seraph, Clearlight, and Clearlight is basically a stronger. It's white because it has the CB skill changed into the SB skill, and to make matters worse, there's a skill drain on top.
And if you have additional copies of her, she's also an extra draw.
Yeah, so they also made her Zuita. Yeah, I don't know why. I really don't know why.
Previously, a good counter for prison was you place any cards with the effect to on-place Soul Charge 1. Now this denies that.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that in the how to counter prison segment, but please stay tuned. Okay, now, before we move on, because I know everyone wants to hear about the rest of this deck, we need to talk about the new prison. So this is the new prison that we have to play a one-off.
So I am currently opting for this deck list to play the new prison, but playing the old prison is also a very valid option, and more popular at the moment, because the new prisons, when put into order zone effect, there is no when put into order zone effect. The old prison did have it, which was to soul charge 3.
This one does not.
This one, in contrast, only soul charges once per turn, and it's hard locked to once per turn whenever your opponent frees a card from prison. So
it's a may. You may soul charge.
You may soul charge 1. So even if you have multiple copies of this new prison, you're not soul charging more than 1.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, and the other ability is, if you're familiar with fighting against prison, your opponent during their turn are able to soul blast 1 to choose a unit from your prison and call it to rearguard circle, or counter blast 1 to choose 2 units instead.
Yep. So it's more the same. Why did they not give us energy costs? I don't know. I guess that was too good, but yeah.
Alright, moving on.
So we're not talking about the prison anymore in the deck, so that counts as 1 card for the deck. Now, the main horror is here.
Aurora Battle Princess Seraph Purelight.
We're playing this at 3. Now, I know what you're thinking, but isn't this the win condition? Yes. Don't cry. Don't cry. You will see the Seraph Purelight and you will like it, okay? So...
Alright, so her effect is, on place, you can counterblast 1 and soul blast a card with Seraph in its name. Your opponent chooses 2 cards from their hand, 2 cards from their soul, and 2 cards on their field and puts it into prison. And her second effect is continuous. For every 2 cards in your prison, your front row gains plus 5k, and if you have 10 or more cards, your front row also gains an additional critical.
Yay! I love losing! Woo! Yeah, there's nothing to explain here.
This card has existed since DBT04.
Yeah, this card has never gotten weaker, has never gotten stronger. It's just the same. And that same is too good. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I know most people fearmonger about most things in, Vanguard. You're like, oh my good guys, I hate Persona, right? I hate Virina, I hate Night Rose, I hate everything. But this is generally, I hate this card.
We are about 4 years since the release of this card.
I don't get how they've... When I said in the DZ BTO2 video that if they just manage the way Prison gets their support in a fair and balanced manner, while allowing Purelight to stay in the deck, they will never need to address it. But Bushido was like, no, you will enjoy full power Purelight again.
The fact that every other grade 4 from that same set is basically irrelevant at this point in time.
Let's think about it. Prime is still playable, but Prime is now like a side finisher.
Or a discard for
Yeah, he's not even the main thing anymore, right? Like, he's not even there. The best use for what's the name? Not VMS Bruce, what? Diabolos... oh my goodness, of course.
Unrivaled
Bruce, right? The best use for Unrivaled Bruce is in Glowing Dragon. Right? You bind 4 grades and then you get the effect. That is the best use for Unrivaled Bruce right now, is you just play it in Glowing Dragon. The best use for Nirvana, for Maha Nirvana, is just die.
Just play Jiva at this point.
Yeah, just play Jiva. Like I mean, it's not like Jiva is, world ending very GP slaughterer, but like you can just play Jiva. Like there's no reason for you to play Maha. And neither is there a reason for you to play Magnolia. Elder, because Patriarch exists. Even if you want to be like those people who play an Elder package in Night Rose or Patriarch, that's just like a side engine you play at like 1 to 2. It's not even like the main gimmick. This is the whole gimmick of this deck. Still!
And people are even deciding to cut the grade 4 Aster size.
No, they don't even play it anymore.
Yeah.
Exactly. Everyone has moved on for grade 4s except Ignis. God bless you.
No. Ignis is a new design philosophy.
God bless you, Jojo Magnus. God bless you. But what the hell is this? Like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. But this is it. This is the win con, right? You see this? You better pray you've been doing things right for the last 3 turns. If not, you just did. So, yeah. If any prison player tells you not to play this in your deck, they're lying. They're absolutely lying. This is a 3-off to 4-off. The reason why you can play this at 3-off is because you have a card that Omni searches it out. So it's not a big deal. But if you want to play a 4th Seraph Purelight, to flex on your opponents who will soon be quitting this game, you can. You absolutely can. No concern.
Deck space might be tight though. But
we are here to talk about that right now, right? Our grade 3s, we play 2 copies of Clearlight, surprising given everything you said, and 1 copy of the ladder.
It's more of a space issue than anything.
Then we also have 1 copy from the right deck. So
yeah,
you only need about 1 to 2 extra copies of Clearlight in the main deck because you don't persona right in this deck. It is pure light or die, right? So like you don't need it, but it is a good enough rear guard first and foremost. It is Zuitan, and it does have the skill drain on legs. Right?
Yes.
So you wouldn't say no to having more Clearlight, but given the space constraints and what the deck wants to do, 2 is enough.
But if for some reason the game goes to turn 5 and you need to skill drain one more time,
you have this now. You have this now. So it's not a concern.
Yes.
Ladder is for the prison mirror. Because
it's not only for the prison mirror, but for any form of control. Who
is destroying you this matter?
Welstra, you'd be surprised.
Oh come on. Okay. Besides Welstra, like
Welstra, Artasaria.
Dude, Artasaria does not have the hand or the resources to stop you. It does not. It very frankly does not. Not yet. Give it another 4 to 5, 100 sets. But now no.
Shiranui.
Yeah, Shiranui probably.
Okay, you guys just imagine whatever control matchup and just think ladder is the counter for that. And it's also an additional soul because we are playing the new prison instead of the old one. So any card that generates an additional soul is welcome here.
Absolutely right. So remember, this is the best way for prison to beat Eugene. Moving on to our grade 2s. We have 1 copy of Peach from the right deck. So again, this one is just in the right deck. We are not playing any extra copies in the main deck because Prison has too many good cards that you no longer need to play right deck cards. We need 1 copy of our ace unit, Vermeil Exordia.
The fact that it counts your opponent's cards in your order zone as well is insane.
Oh yeah, so you can just get your opponent's cards to pay the cost for you, which would incentivize them to quit the game even more. But beyond that, I will put a link description for my ace unit video. Link description, so I won't want to talk about this. Just know that it's an energy user. It is a strong grade 2 gamer, and it's just a guy. 4 copies of this one.
Aurora Battle Princess Flawless Leela.
And 4 copies of the one we did the previous deck profile around. This is Citrus.
Yes.
Right? This is, what's the full name again?
Aurora
Battle Princess.
I
need to read that. I should probably read that.
Give me a second.
Oh,
they updated it.
okay. It doesn't matter. You will still lose this card anyway. So,
Corner Citrus.
Citrus. Which card do you want to talk about first?
Alright, we'll start with Flawless Leela first because she is the new one.
She's the new one.
Alright, so let's put the shiny one away first so that you guys can read it. For those of you who can read moon runes, her effect is.
I can. We can. This is a channel that does that. It's just you. Channel memberships to help him afford Japanese school.
Alright, so her effect is auto on place on rearguard circle. When your opponent chooses a card from your drop zone and puts it into prison, then if you have 2 or more cards in prison, you can CB 1 to draw 1. Her other effect is continuous rearguard circle / guardian circle. If you have 2 or more cards in prison.
Yes, if you have 2 or more cards in prison,
she gains plus 5k shield.
Oh no, if your opponent is grade 3 or grade 2. Oh no, it's your
okay. If your Vanguard is grade 3 or grade 2, one of your opponent and one or more of your opponent's cards are in prison, she gains plus 5k shield. If 3 or more cards are in prison, it also gains plus 5k power, plus 5k shield. So she
And
is...
it's doing both turns. And it's doing both turns.
Yes, so she herself can be a 15k shield.
And a 50k beat stick. So it's almost Marauding Shade. But Marauding Shade and Vibatsuka, they overfly in one card. So yeah. This card has not been played that much in terms of like the winning prison list, surprisingly, because who knew that a grade 2 gamer is actually what prison did not need, because you know
We have grade 1.
they already had one, but like this can be played as a 2 to 4 off in a prison deck. In this deck we're playing at 4 because we want to showcase the new cards more off, but it's not wrong if you want to play like 2 to 3 copies, it's absolutely okay.
Yes.
Right? The one you need to play 4 off is their Rock Augur.
Corner Citrus.
Corner
So
Citrus.
she has 2 effects. Her first one is same as Flawless Leela. When placed on Rearguard Circle, your opponent chooses a card from their drop zone and puts it into prison. Then, instead of CA1, this is Energy Blast 3 to draw 1. And you don't have to have 2 more cards in prison. So you can just put her on, she's a draw 1. Next, when your Vanguard with Seraph in its card name attacks, if you have 3 or more cards in, and your opponent is grade 3 or greater, if you have 3 or more cards in prison, she gains plus 10,000 power. If you have 5 or more cards in prison, you can counterblast 1 and stand this unit.
Yeah. So you may be wondering, but honest, I don't care about Rock Augur. I mean, what's the worst they can? Nope, don't want.
Plus 1 crit.
Plus 1 crit. So it's a restanding crit rearguard with all the extra free power from Seraph Purelight. So you guys like Zorga, right? Yeah, it's worse than that. So yeah, this one is 4 off, no compromise. Like you have to play it 4.
Yeah.
There is no scenario where you don't call this card. You have to.
Early game, she's a draw. Late game, she's
Rock
your
Augur.
attacker.
Yeah. So always good, always good.
She's very dynamic. One of the best post DBTO4 support cards prison has ever
And we are about to pay the price for it. So our great ones here, we have Kyanite Cobalt. I love this art, by the way. It's my favorite art this set. 3 security upgrader.
He is useless beyond that point where you start going into the
We'll
superior.
talk about it later. 2 Balderine, that's a nice tag. 4 copies of Rifle Rogue. This one is a 4 off, absolutely. Like, if you can't afford this card, please don't play Prison. Like, actually, please don't play Prison. 3 copies of Blitz Staff Muna. This one has been reprinted a few times, so it is pretty nice. 2 Boba Mine. Again, this is just a ratio thing, but we can talk about it later. And 4 PGs, one of which has to be the Grade 4 Sanctitude. So
Crest Sanctitude.
Crest Sanctitude. So this ensures that you can play alongside Seraph. Purelight. So make sure you pick this one up. It has to be this art exactly, okay? And then we play 3 normal PGs. Yeah, that's fine.
2 copies of Boba Mine, best counter charger in the nation.
And
You've seen
Frizo.
some counter blast abilities in this deck, so we play 3 copies of Muna. Her effect is continuous on Rearguard Circle. If you have 2 or more cards in your order zone, she gains plus 5k, and your opponent cannot choose her for card abilities.
Yeah, so it's resist. But you can still like retire all or lock all, she will still fall victim to it. She just can't be targeted by it.
Yes. Then her second ability is when a unit is placed from your order zone, you can Soul Blast 1 to draw a card once per turn.
Yeah. It's so funny that the Blitz promo has more usage in Prison than Blitz.
Yes.
Yeah. So this one, Muna, is a 2 to 3 off in Prison because it's basically just free draw forever.
And she's also the main reason why people opt to run the old prison instead of the new one.
Yeah, but if you want to play the old prison, new prison, you can cut her out maybe. I don't think so.
We are waiting for a good replacement. We need something better that is for the archetype. For now, she is the best we've got.
Yeah, because she's the best free draw.
Yes.
Poor Muna, poor Muna. Speaking of poor generics, my good friend Mr. Baldalido. Mr. Baldrid is literally just move to soul top 5 air grade to a greater card from your deck to your hand.
Yeah, his plus 5k condition will never proc.
Yeah, his plus 5k is never happening, but that's okay. You just use him just to build soul and to thin your deck for more grade 2 beaters, and you know.
You can even add your pure light.
You can add Purelight, you can add your Rock Augur, you can add any card that actually wins the game. So this one is again conditional. It's a fun card that we put in because we thought it works.
You can play more copies of Boba Mine if you want.
Yeah, you can totally opt out of this one. Again, we are just showing you cards for the cards that we have tested and we enjoyed, so we want to share it with you. So you too can make more people quit the game. And speaking of cards that make people quit the game, you Security Upgrader.
So he is part of the line of promos that all the grade 4 bosses that we were talking about before got, so that they can superior ride into their grade 4. But Security Upgrader had the special condition where you cannot have ridden that turn. So
yeah, because if they allow Clearlight, Purelight, I will actually just start playing like Alestros or some shit.
So instead of and in exchange, it got the ability where it reduced the cost of Purelight's ability by 1 counterblast. So now you only have to soul blast 1 copy of Seraph Clearlight, which means it's basically free. And it also presents another card from drop zone, which also makes a 6-card effect into a 7-card prison effect. And if you do this, and because you're doing this during the Clearlight turn, you can also soul blast 1 for Clearlight and then superior ride, so that makes it 8 immediately if your opponent has a full field and full soul for some reason. So that's why you have to start to learn how to play around the deck. Otherwise, cards like this is just going to ruin your day.
It is literally 1 card ending game. Yeah, if you base it right, this card literally has the methods to Omni Search out from your draw, from your hand, from your deck, anywhere. Just hop into this. You've lost.
That's right.
You've absolutely lost.
And that's why whenever you draw into your grade 4, that is your discard folder for this deck for your right line.
You can. But if your opponent's not that good, you can just keep your hand. It's up to you. But again, why are you playing this only at 3 though?
Okay, so the reason why I'm playing it at 3 is because other than its superior ride effect, which is already hard locked once per turn, it is a very huge liability on the field. You don't want it to be on the field. You only want to see the 1 copy of it when you want to ride up. It's a card that you don't want to see too early because it's a brick in the hand, and it's a card that you don't want to see too late, so you don't want to play too little copies.
You can't hit the Purelight then.
Yeah. So 3 copies is a comfortable number for me. You can bump it up if you're feeling a bit more cautious, but 3 copies is fine.
3 to 4 copies,
yes.
Definitely. So that gives you enough avenues with the natural Purelight itself to ensure that you will have enough opportunities to use that on place and just end your opponent's life.
But remember, you have to live to the turn to see it. Alright.
Can you not spoil the script anymore? Alright, our last great one and the most expensive one, and the one you actually need to buy 4, is Rifle Rogue. Now, whoever printed Rifle Rogue, like whoever in Bushiroad's card design who made this, can you leave me a comment? I would like to talk to you in person, and don't book for a cab on the way back. It's a 1-way cab for you. So, Rifle Rogue genuinely is the most what the hell card they printed in DBT 12, despite this being the office mask set, so you know something went wrong. During your turn, if your opponent has 2 or more cards in your prison, this unit gets 5k power, which without guard restriction automatically means this guy can become a 13k beatstick or booster.
That's right.
On turn 2, not turn 1.
Correct.
Turn 2. Okay? And the second skill is if your opponent has a card put into their prison this turn, correct?
Initially
during the turn, right? Once the turn has an X skill, counter blast 1. Imprison another guy of your opponent's rear guards, right? Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 card from among them that has a grade of a card imprisoned as well, right?
Yes.
And call it to an open rearguard circle. And then you shuffle the deck. They gave the most bullshit ass aggro deck on the planet not only ways to further control and cripple people on turn 2. They gave you Evelyn. They gave you Liverod. They gave you Hybrid. They gave you Etnifed. In the year of our Lord 2023, they already had this. I don't get it.
Hey, but back then Prison was a 3 attack deck, right?
Yeah, what has happened since? Like, it's
a Basagara situation all over again.
Look, just play 4 of these, don't ask questions. Now, I don't want to talk about it. It's too good. Like, if you gave stuff like this to Platinum Ezo, we wouldn't be here.
Your opponent wants to rush you down, you use it to control. Your opponent wants...
And then you push them back.
Your opponent wants to play control, then that's what you want because you want to survive to your Purelight turn.
Exactly. Now, for grade 0s, as we mentioned, we still have the grade 0 from our right deck. This one has not changed, right? This one is still
yes.
One of our WinCon, please play this. You want to play this. You want people to quit this game, right? Yeah, please play this. Please, trust me. We play
7 crits.
7 crits because this deck actually has enough crits. The whole final gets a crit. I don't see any more crits. Like, be mature about it. 4 heals, just play the Aurora Battle Princess heal. Why not? And 4 effect draw. I know this is weird because Prison has a deck out issue historically, but because we play this now, the new prison, you kind of want to focus on just getting more parts and just killing your opponent with the power of bad card design. And because of that, you're just gonna opt for the draw.
But in this slot, arguably you can play any other one of the effect fronts. So the soul front and the shield front are also both viable. I'm just choosing the draw because I want to see more of my pieces.
Yeah, because your pieces are freaking disgusting.
That's right.
Alright, so our next segment, because this video is a lot longer than our normal deck profiles, we're going to talk about our tech cards. Since we mentioned alternative triggers to try, let's talk about alternative cards that you could put in this deck to make this deck even more worse.
Alright, first let's talk about the one that you most often see in most lists, which is going to be Aurora Battle Princess Violet. Her effect is, when she's put on Guardian Circle, if you have a card in your prison and your opponent attacked with a grade 2 or less unit, you can Soul Blast 1.
Is it a rear guard?
I mean, most of the time it's going to be a rear guard. You can Soul Blast 1 and
choose one of your units being attacked and you can nullify the attack.
Yes.
That's right. It is a perfect guard.
Correct.
Congratulations, Blue Sky Knight Outmount. You have officially been irrelevant. So, we are not putting this in a main
Oh
deck.
no, it just cannot be hit by a grade 2 or lower units attack. So if you're for some reason playing against Flam G, you have another PG. If you're
my goodness.
If you're for some reason playing against, I don't know,
Blasterblade the
Michu.
Vanguard.
Same. Yeah, Blasterblade the Vanguard, Michu, the ones that will rewrite to a lower grade just to hit your face. She's a free PG.
Oh, if you're playing Prison in Premium, I'm not sure why you would do that, but
It's funny.
No, Premium's not funny. But actually, you know what? Prison's funny as well. Why the hell? So the reason why this is not on the deck is just because it is a tech card. There are some metas where this is absolutely awful, but there's some metas where this is absolutely completely meta warping, like 110%.
If the meta is running around with a bunch of grade 3 rearguard, she is doing absolutely nothing.
But
if your opponent is also playing on a deck that is able to consistently free every single card in prison every single turn, she also does nothing.
But other than that, she's really good. So
she can even be called out by Buster Barrage, the Blitz Order.
yes. So all in all, while we didn't put this in the main deck, absolutely, if you're a prison player, buy this card. Because you can put this card in your deck if you want.
And if you're an opponent to a prison player, be mindful.
Yeah, because you may lose to this suddenly.
Next
one.
Aqua, she also came in the same. She came in the support wave prior to Rifle.
Rifle Roach. Yeah. This one's a lot more fair actually. Penetrate Aquas, right?
Yes. So her effect is when she's placed on Rearguard Circle, your opponent chooses a card from your drop zone and puts it into the prison. And on on Rearguard Circle, Guardian Circle, if you have 2 or more cards in prison, she gains plus 5k power and plus 10k shield.
Yes.
And when she attacks, if your opponent were to call cards from hand to Guardian Circle, they must call 2 or more at the same time.
Yeah.
So this was this is a guard restrict and some extra shield. Some people may opt to play this over additional copies of Clearlight.
But it's up to you. It's completely up to you. You can see the similarities between these two cards as to how Clearlight was clearly inspired by that one. So one is like a Zuitan based power beat stick, one is a guard restrict beat stick, but both still have ways to snipe from drop, right?
Yes.
So you can play Penetrate Aquas if you want, especially if you happen to spot a copy of Forbidal Surrogate, who is also a great option in this deck, but because we are very scared of the prison mirror, i.e. we are scared of the consequences of our actions, we're not doing that.
For now.
But when Kidani announces that the year of prison is upon us, well, we will play this card. It's actually, it can completely cheese wins out, like, for fun. So, yeah. But again, this one's also in the tech card slot because, there is a world where you don't play this. So
yeah, prior to Clearlight in the Prison Mirror, she was good, but now that Clearlight has a skill drain effect,
you won't really need this that much. Last one for our tech cards that you can consider.
Rocket Launcher is what I like to call her, because she has a rocket launcher. But her actual name is Aurora Battle Princess Launcher Charlene.
Okay, you got half the name, right?
Okay, so her effect is during the battle that this unit attacked, your opponent cannot call normal units from hand to Guardian Circle and cannot play Blitz orders from hand.
Goodbye Lastaria. Goodbye Siana. Goodbye to everyone who was tier 4 or lower. You are dead.
They can't play PGs or...
Heavenly Blight. You cannot play Heavenly Blight. Restore Chan is dead.
Yeah, so it's actually a significantly more powerful guard restrict than Black the Mire.
Like, as long as you play this against any Keta user in DivineZ, you just win.
Yeah, but in exchange for such a powerful effect, it also has the second effect where if the number of your opponent's card imprisoned in your prison is 5 or less, this unit cannot attack.
Brutal Jack.
So she has restraint, but
Brutal Jack. It's Brutal Jack in the year of Lord 2022.
thanks to this, that restraint doesn't really matter.
And again, the same reasons why this is not in the deck right now is the same reason that applied to Penetrate Aquas, and that's mainly because in the year of our Lord 2025, we are very scared of the Prison Mirror, so we need to play Ladder. But the second that Kidani announces that, Prison Mirrors are no longer a thing, we can just swap this Reality Piece into 4-bit Surrogate, and we can superior call any grade 3 from our deck, from our choice.
Deck or drop, by the way.
Yeah, deck or draw, and just call it. So you can just tag these one-offs just for complete fun and just win the game outright. But again, that's in a possibility. We know that people will be watching this video on both sides, for and against Prison, with a lot of questions, right? So we want to cover as many grounds as we possibly can, because we are hoping to really talk about the topic where most people just want to cry about it, including me. Now,
Okay, there's one last tech pick, which is a pretty meme tech pick, and that is going to be Aurora Battle Princess Trabuc and Villiers. So her effect is when she's placed on rearguard circle, you can choose a card imprisoned in your prison, call it to your opponent's open rearguard circle, and choose one of your opponent's rearguard and put it into prison. So a card like this is able to you'd be wondering why would you play a card like this? Well, that's because Muna will see that.
and Muna will give you another drop.
And your prison will see that. And prison will give you another soul charge.
Yeah.
So it depends. She is a meme currently a meme of card, but she was played in the past in order to facilitate more draws and more board presence. But
You can if you want to, you can if you don't want to. It's completely fine.
yeah, but
It's just an option you should know
yeah.
as a Prison player. So yeah, cool. Thank you so much for sharing. Now, our next segment, and the segment which most of you have clicked on this video for, is how do you beat Prison? Most people do not know how to beat Prison. It's very clear reading the discussion online. People say, oh, spam cards that on play Soul Charge 1. People say, oh, just rush, there's no repercussion. Or, oh, just concede, just let your opponent win the tiebreaker, and when the use rate hits more than 50%, Prison will get banned and therefore you win. All these are very silly suggestions. But what do you actually do against this Prison deck? If you are already a top tier strategy like Balsagra, like Jiva, like Heart Lulu, I think your answers are pretty much baked into the cake. But what if you're not so fortunate, right? For every Leonon and Vardula out there, there is one Night Rose and one Favnio. So what do you say in terms of beating this deck? What can we do?
Alright, so it all starts from the coin flip. Whether you're going first or you're going second, it matters a lot. Because if you're going second, you have one less turn when it comes to the bomb that is Purelight. But if you're going first, you have an additional turn of grade 3 and you have access to Persona right before they can go into Purelight.
And that is also because not only one, Purelight is accessible via normal ride. Security Upgrader says you cannot ride this turn, right? Like, it's not just cannot ride in the future. You can't have road, period. So that means you can't do a first turn jump into Purelight. Neither can you do like a Maha Nirvana style catch up on turn 3, go second, superior right. You cannot do that. It has to be hard turn 4, correct?
Correct.
So because of that, Security Upgrader is nothing more than just a consistency piece and a +1 increaser from draw, but it's not actually a superior right cheater. So in terms of that, you still actually have a few turns to play the game, if you can call it that. So yeah, what else is there for us to know?
Alright, so if you are going first, most likely be prepared to get damage denied. It means your prison opponent will most likely try to swing into your rear guards. There will, if you see a gameplay channel later, which will be uploaded on this video,
we may show prison. We may show prison, and we may show you what it does. So
yes.
Prison players, because they have free 6 damage from God, they can just choose to CV deny you. So make sure you know that. I'm not saying build all your decks as if you're never receiving damage. That's also unrealistic, right? But you should start thinking of strategies in which you can play without the use of a counterpass. So, yeah, that is something you, in good faith, you should consider. What
Yes.
else?
Okay, the next thing is the damage intervals. So, what are the options your opponent has to use use their counterblast on turn 2? What are the options they have to use?
Rifle.
It's just going to be Villa and Rifle. But Rifle, if she can call another Rifle, it can chain into another Rifle. So it can get out of hand in that way, but that also means they'll have less counterblast later for cards like Citrus.
I mean, obviously, right? But you have Bobo Mine too, so that doesn't really matter. What is the point they're trying to make?
Okay, so countercharge is a limited resource in this deck.
Yeah, because you literally only have Bobo Mine as a counter charge option.
Yes. There's an in-archetype one, but that's pretty bad, so we don't talk about that. But once your opponent uses up their counterblast, that's about it. You can kind of gate them to a certain extent, then they have to actually start digging. If another thing that you're supposed to see is if you ever see Citrus on field early, if possible, try and remove her.
Because she will become deadlier as the game goes on. So do 100% hit this girl, do attack her as much as possible, because if she stays around for the Purelight turn, you are dead. So yeah.
Okay. Another thing that you might want to try is to empty the prison out as much as possible if your deck can afford it.
Explain.
There are 2 defensive abilities, or 3 defensive cards, one of which I don't have today on me, but 3 defensive cards, or most of Prison's defensive cards, require you to at least have 1 or more cards in Prison, and the better ones will require more than
like 3.
more than even that. So, as much as possible, you are actually crippling Prison's entire defensive game plan if you're just able to free all the cards from Prison. I know that not all decks have the resources available to them to do that, but this is where effects like on play Soul Charge 1, on play look at top 5, add 1 card from them to hand, then put a card from hand into Soul, or maybe even on place put a card from hand into Soul, look at the top 2 cards, add 1 from among them to hand, and put the rest into either your top of deck or Soul.
Look, if you're just trying to say play Draconic Kaiser Vermilion, we get it.
I mean Coco, I was talking about Coco.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But the idea is that despite me previously disparaging on play Soul Charge effects, that is pretty strong because the only real thing that shuts it off is Seraph Clearlight. Everything else does not give you skill drain, right? So if you can spam these effects early, you can actually build up a natural resistance to it wherein you have enough Soul Blast to actually cheat out the effects. Or if you're one of those decks that have high amounts of counter charge, you can use that counter charge to counter blast and call all your cards out from prison, make it very effective.
Okay.
Last but not least for this line of thought, right? When you think of stuff like Seraph Purelight, at the end of the day, the only skill that prisons from her is your place, right? And
Yes.
your place takes 2 from Soul. So if you know that that's coming, you can just empty out your whole Soul before that, and that just means she can't present you from Soul.
Or if you are unable to empty your Soul, empty your board.
Yeah, like play evasion decks, right? You guys like stuff like Aurora, right? Play evasion decks. Play decks that have their whole board evaporate, like I don't know. Tamayura is one. Argo Sirens? Argo Sirens pretty good, right?
Token decks are also pretty good.
Token decks are pretty good. So the Office, if you can believe that. So like, there is another way you can fight prison in terms of more traditional sense. Is there any other way we can fight prison?
Okay, so remember the skill drain effect is not active until your opponent's turn 4.
Yes.
In most cases.
Or more rather, the next turn.
Yes. No, turn 4. Your
But
opponent's turn.
that's assuming you got it on time.
If they are able to
We're assuming that means you put down Purelight on your turn 4.
yes.
Yeah.
However, I would like to inform you guys that there is no white hair of Inaba-like effects in prison. Therefore, there will be no way currently for your opponent to set up the additional Clearlight in Soul unless they randomly Soul Charge it.
Or
from the
if
new
they
position.
draw it and then have it attack as a rear guard.
No, they can have it attack as a rear guard, but then the skill drain effect is only active on your turn 4 again.
Yeah.
So you have the time. You have the time.
You have some time
to use up all of your on-place effects.
Yeah, so burn off as many of them as you physically can, because there will come a time when you just can't anymore.
Okay, another thing that you might have noticed throughout the deck profile is a lot of prison effects says you get to choose what you imprison.
Yes, that's very important.
You have the player agency in how you are going to play that game. You have the ability to choose what pieces you want to put in prison. There are a lot of cards in the game with very strong on-place effects.
And even without the on-place, like
or end of battle, end of turn cards that will retire themselves, cards that will put themselves into soul. So my advice there is set up your drop zone. Set up your drop zone with pieces you want to see in prison.
Because you're gonna call it back. So they're basically just giving you a free way out, right? Your cards you put into soul, your cards that you retire for your own skills. Let them have it. Let them take it all, because you can just drag them all back. Again, I know what it sounds like. Man, my deck can't do that. True, but there is enough of those decks in the formats that can. Your deck may not, but I would wager out of the 150 decks in standard, I would guarantee at least half of you can do that, right? I mean, if not, just buy, sell, down. I guess, I don't know. But like, it's not that bad. Which brings us to the conclusion of this video.
No, there is one
there's
more
There's one more?
very high level technique.
Oh.
Alright, so
This is
bring
not
out the
the
prison. Bring out
This
the
is not
prison.
the script. This is not the script.
Alright,
We're
so
cooking.
this is a technique where if for some reason you know you can empty your board, but and you know you still have some soul remaining, but the empty board all went to a drop zone instead of to the soul, or they went back to your hand. They went to a zone other than the soul. The prison's soul blast can be used to free nothing.
You're kidding. So you're just gonna drain your soul for fun.
Yes, you can drain your soul. Therefore, Purelight's condition will be a lot harder to achieve.
Damn! Oh yeah. Wait, is that legal?
Yes, you free up to 1.
No way. Wait, is this on the old prison too?
Yes.
No way. Wait, I've never heard of. No one has told me that. No way. I let me read that. Let me read it myself right now.
Okay, because it's a cost, you can just pay the cost.
Oh yeah. You can just pay the cost and it whiffs. Yeah.
Yeah, if they do so, the wording is the same even for the new prison.
Okay, so you can just drain your soul then. Just like eat crap and
Yeah,
it's fine.
Worst comes to worst, if you know that you don't need the soul, or if you want to just dodge it,
Just burn it off.
yeah. And your opponent's going to prison card from your drop zone anyway, so if the following turn, if you can use your counter blast to free cards in prison,
That'd be great.
yeah.
But again, that assumes you have the resource. So again, this does mean that you need to play a deck that has these capabilities. But you know, it is difficult. I'm not gonna lie. This is not like a free win or something. Absolutely not.
It will take skill.
Yeah,
it will take a lot
skill,
of brain power.
and some sacking, and some sacking.
familiarity with the matchup.
And some sacking. You will need some triggers. That will be.
Yes. Remember, the main thing you want to avoid is the 10 cards in prison.
Oh yeah.
The +1 critical is a lot.
Yeah, because it can actually just end the game alright. So yes. So that now we've reached the end, right?
Yes.
Now we've reached the end, and that is the conclusion of our prison deck profile. Do we think that this deck will cause the format to rotate?
No.
No. But this deck definitely is going to be a pain in the ass when it comes to playing. Like, you're going to need to learn this deck. I'm sorry, there's no way around it. This is mandatory knowledge if you want to play Vanguard for the next like 5 years. Because for some reason, they let this thing go free for the last 4 years and it's still good.
Yep.
So unless Kidani next week announces that, you know, oh, the new strike deck set has the ability to just eat your opponent's grade 4 cards, then you have no way around this. You actually don't. So you will need to learn the matchup. We've mentioned some tips. I'm very sure there's more tips out there. Leave us a comment actually if you know more tips, right, on how to beat prison. Let us know. Help the rest of the people who don't. Because very frankly, when I read a lot of discussions online, it sucks because most people are just, oh, I can't do it, let's just quit. Oh, I can't do it, oh, let's just swap to like Yu-Gi-Oh! Less Shrills.
A lot of decks have a unique way to fight against prison.
Yes.
And a lot of nations have generics that can help you fight prison.
Yep.
So it really requires your own player agency to look through the card pool and see what works for you.
But then again, if your generics cost you too much money, then That sucks. Yeah, that is pretty difficult. But
There
again,
there are
it's not
budget options.
It's
as well.
not impossible. That's what we're trying to say. It is difficult, but it's not impossible, right?
Remember, guys, the deck has been around for a while. Why hasn't it been topping? Because
It has. What the hell?
Why has it been topping as consistently before? Well, that's because there are ways
I
around
like to
it.
thank my good friends Pasadra, Eva, Shiranui, people who are better than Prison. So yeah, but
Anyway, guys, there is hope. And for Prison players, congratulations, we have a new card.
shut the hell up, man. Okay, you know what? That's it. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
The US legal system kind of mirrors what happens in this deck actually.
This is not a political commentary. We're talking about Japanese cardboard. What? I'm going. People, no, come on. You cannot end the video on that. I have to censor this out too.